Hey everyone, it's Ivan, kitbadger.com here today, continuing our journey on firearms ownership. And today we're going to be talking about stance as it relates to shooting both pistol as well as rifle. When it comes to stance, there are a number of different schools of thought. I will show you a way, not the way, but 30,000 foot view, what are we looking to accomplish with a good stance? Well, when we go to shoot, we want to make sure that our stance helps us in that it is, one, stable, so we can get good, precise shots, and two, we want our stance to ideally help us in mitigating that recoil. Our stance, of course, is going to start with our feet. So to get on the same page, we will go ahead and initially start with our feet directly below our hips, just squared up. And from there, we will end up moving them. Right here, my feet directly under my hips, toes kind of along this line of gravel. I'm going to step forward. Me being a right-handed shooter, I'm going to step forward with my left foot, basically putting the heel of my left foot on this line where the toe of my right foot is. And this left foot is going to be slightly wider than my hips, and I'm going to turn my toe in ever so slightly. Again, what we're doing is we're getting into a fighting stance in order to shoot. Something that is honestly almost universal with most martial arts. Me being a right-handed shooter, I'm going to step forward with my left foot. Again, basically the right toe is on the same plane as my left heel. This foot is going to come out a little bit, a little wider than hip width or shoulder width rather, and I'm going to turn my toe in slightly. And I'm going to sink into it. I'm not leaning forward, hunching my shoulders, anything like that. I'm sinking down into it, dropping that center of gravity, and that is creating tension through my legs. Why are we getting into a shooting position that is creating tension in our lower body? Well, because one, it allows us to get into a stable position by dropping that center of gravity. And it also allows us to mitigate recoil, and we can then move. If you want to shoot bullseye or do something like this, absolutely a different discipline. What we're looking for is a shooting position that we can get into, give us a good stable platform, and allows us to mitigate recoil, absorb that recoil, and in addition to that, allows us to move if need be. Whenever you want to move, you have to transfer your weight to the balls of your foot. You can't step off from your heels. Doesn't really work very well. So you have to already be with tension, your weight on the balls of your feet, at which point you can then go to move. This puts us in that position and creates a really good, solid, especially when we drop that center of gravity, stable position to shoot and mitigate recoil. But what if I have a rifle? Exact same thing. Feet start squared up under our hips. Being a right-handed shooter, my left foot is going to come forward. It's going to come out a little bit. Toe's going to come in. I'm going to sink into it, lower that center of gravity. Now I have a solid position to shoot from, as well as the ability to mitigate recoil and can quickly move if and when I need to. But what if I'm left-handed? Well, still, same thing, it's just opposite. So starting here, my right foot is gonna now come out a little bit, forward, toe in some, sink into it, and again, now I have that solid low center of gravity to create a solid shooting position, mitigate recoil, and move if I need to. That right there is a way to get into a shooting stance that gives you a stable shooting platform, the ability to mitigate recoil, as well as the ability to move if and when needed. Join us next time as we continue our journey on firearms ownership. And as always, thanks for joining us at kitbadger.com. Look forward to seeing you next time.
Little Sammy was a punk rocker.